Hi guys, this is Ifeoma Odolami. I was actually trying to get on Instagram, but I guess I'm not going to be on Instagram today. Um, Let me try again actually. Just give me a second. Let's see if we can get back on Instagram. Um, let's see if we can get back on Instagram. Oops, maybe not. Okay guys, I'm going to be on just YouTube and Facebook today. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Ifeoma Odolami, immigration attorney from the Odolami Law Firm. Hi, everyone. I'm going to put on my comment section so that if you have any questions, you can put it right there in the comment section. And if I have the time, I will go through the questions. If not, I will try to answer it at my next live. So thank you guys for joining me. Please don't forget to comment, say hello if you're here so I know that you're here. Do a wave, whatever. Let me know that you're here. So, guys, I have a really great topic, right? And the topic I want to talk about is getting your green card without going for an interview. So, in 2018, under the Trump administration, that discretion to determine whether or not to invite a married couple for an interview was taken away from immigration officers. There was a rule that it was a mandate actually that immigration officers had to interview people who were removing conditions from their green card or who had gotten their green card through consular processing. The mandate was that when they came to the United States, they had to go for an interview. So luckily for us, that mandate was taken away by the Biden administration. So the immigration officers now again have the authority to determine whether they want to interview a married couple. So this video is about maximizing your chances of having your submission good enough so that you're hoping that they don't call you for an interview. We've been very successful with many of our cases where we've been able to get green cards come in the mail without our clients having to go for an interview. And let me tell you something, there's nothing as nice as calling your client and saying, well, guys, guess what? No interview, but we have your green card, so come on in. So that's what I want to do today for you guys. I want to give you some information, some tips on how to put your package together so that you create a clear blueprint for the immigration officer so that they know that um, your relationship is bona fide. So let's start with talking about people who are removing their conditions. That's really what I want to talk about because that's the section of people that typically USCIS wants to interview because they want to make sure that now that you've gotten, you have a chance at getting a permanent green card, they want to make sure that they made the decision right the first time. So let's talk about what a temporary green card is versus a permanent green card. A temporary green card is that green card you get when your green card is approved before your marriage turns 2, right? You're given this temporary green card because your approval came before your marriage went into the second was in the second year. So that green card is temporary as opposed to the permanent green card, which is a 10-year green card. So when you get the temporary green card, you must remove the conditions. Let me say that again. You must remove the conditions on that green card so that you can get your permanent green card. And to remove this, you can do it jointly with your spouse, or if your relationship is not working out again, you can do it through a waiver. So let me talk about just the evidence that you need, and then we'll talk about the different waivers that would apply. So if you're filing with your spouse to remove the conditions jointly, you fill out the form I-751. The filing fee now is $680. So what USCIS is really looking for is proof that your relationship was valid at the inception and that you guys are still together and and your marriage is still a bona fide marriage. So to do this, you're looking to provide them with proof of a good faith marriage. And I've gone over this several times with you guys in my prior videos, but it's important to do this again because sometimes I have people who come to my office and I ask for evidence and they give me a marriage license or marriage certificate. That's not evidence that it's a bona fide marriage. So the evidence of a bona fide marriage is evidence that your lives are entwined, your finances are commingled, right? So you want to show evidence that you're living together. And if you're not living together for any reason, well, if you're not living together, trust me, they're going to interview you. So let's just talk about you living together. You have to show evidence that you're living together. How do you show that evidence? Do you have a lease? Do you have a mortgage? If you do not have a lease or a mortgage, are you living with somebody who can provide a letter saying that you're renting from them or you're living with them and that kind of stuff, right? Do you have utilities together? Your cable, electricity, your phone bills, gas, electric, whatever, And you might also be able to get affidavits from family and friends, even your neighbors, showing that everyone knows you guys to be a couple. Now, you can also present such evidence, such as evidence showing that both of you are registered as emergency contacts for your children's schools or stepchildren's schools, or or what else? You have health insurance together, life insurance together. Now, if you have life insurance together, please submit proof that you're still making payments. Don't just submit, uh, you know, the proof that you have it, that you once applied for it. You want to show that you're still maintaining payments, and you also want to show that your client, both of you, are beneficiaries of each other's policies. You want to show proof that you guys are, that people see you as a couple, and it can be proved through social media, right? Or it can be proved through your pictures where you're attending functions together, family functions or work functions or school functions. They want to see a slice of your life. If you're going on vacation, they want to see proof that both of you, are, you're staying in the hotel together, you're traveling together, airline tickets, you're vacationing together, you're going to places, fun places together, such as, maybe you're going to the amusement park or you're going to watch shows together. Those kind of things are really, really helpful, right? And if you have children together, that's really key evidence. But of course, both your names should be on the child's birth certificate. What else can you show to prove that you have a good faith marriage? Well, bank statements, joint bank statements. Now, this is really important because I've seen people submit joint bank statements where all they have is uh, a statement that lists both the couple's names, but very little money in the account, very little activity in the account. And that actually is very unhelpful because it doesn't show anything. It just shows that you walked in together and opened an account together, but it doesn't show that your lives are commingled financially, which is really important for immigration officers, right? They want to see that you're paying your bills through that account. They want to see that that if possible, your pay stubs are feeding into the same account. Your pay stubs are feeding into the same account. They want to see that um, that account has money in it, as opposed to just having maybe $100, being on a rotating basis. You want to show that both of you are working, there may be 2 debit cards on this account. Of course, that doesn't mean that you cannot have separate bank accounts as well. But honestly, if you're in this immigration process, do yourself a solid and don't have reasons for USCIS to question your relationship. Okay, I know sometimes people want to be independent and all that, do their own thing, but unless you have other evidence that's really great, you might want to just, put your resources together, at least have an account where your bills are being paid together, right? You should file your taxes together. There's no reason, I don't care what your accountant tells you, there is no reason for you to file single when you're married. There's no reason, okay? So I'll answer questions once I finish this presentation, okay? So the other thing you want to show is if you are, let's see what else. If you have, I'm trying to remember other things that you might want to show. You might have to show a bona fide marriage. Let's see. We've talked about taxes. We've talked about bank statements. We've talked about travel. We've talked about being a beneficiary in your life insurance, being an emergency person for your children's um, school accounts or pediatricians. Also, if you have social media messages where people refer to you guys as a couple, that's really helpful. We found that USCIS will check your social media handle. Just know that they will check your social media handle. So the thing is, when you get your green card initially, you submit a whole bunch of evidence to show that it's a bona fide relationship. So when you're looking to remove the conditions, you want to submit additional evidence. Typically, what we do in my office, we submit the old evidence and we submit additional evidence, building up. So USCIS wants to see evidence from when you got your green card to the date you're filing to remove the conditions, okay? So Portia Stubbs asked, what's the cost of my consultation? Hi, Portia. Thank you for joining. My consultation is $150. You can make payment by calling us, or you can go on my website and make payment yourself, www.odolamilaw.com. So now, there's sometimes when your I-751 is denied, right? And it could be denied because you don't have enough bona fides. USCIS does not believe it's a real marriage, or you filed too early, or you filed too late, or you have some arrest or criminal record, or you fail to attend a USCIS interview. Now let's talk about that criminal record. I did an I-751 interview recently. This guy had actually come to us when they gave him annoyed. He filed it himself, and he received a notice of intent to deny because they wanted to deny the petition because they didn't feel that his I-751 was compelling or proved that he was in a proper good faith marriage. So we responded to the NOID for him, and the case was reinstated and put for an interview. We went for the interview, and the thing that the problem with this was he had some criminal issues, some arrest, right? And luckily, I referred him to an immigration a criminal defense attorney to handle that portion of it, and it was handled, and we're able to move forward, and he got his green card. So I'm really happy about that for him. So now, because they're waiving a lot of interviews, you really want to give as much as you can, okay? No skeletal petitions. You really want to put as much information as you have. If you went to an office gathering and you and your spouse and your bosses are standing together, you want to put that together. If your HR has proof that you're married, you want to get a copy of that. That you let them know that you were married. If you have health insurance with your spouse, you want to present all of that. Basically anything that shows that your life is, you live together. And trust me, USCIS will come to your home to ask your neighbors if they know you guys as a couple. Oh, you can't hear us. Who says you can't hear us? Somebody says they can't hear. You can't hear me? Oh boy. You can't hear me? Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, let me know. Can you hear me? Kalechi Susan says you can hear me. Oh wow. Can you hear me? Portia, can you hear me? That is not good. I'm not sure why you cannot hear me because All right. All right. So I'm going to abort this because if you can't hear me, then there's no purpose of this video. So I will cut it short and I will. Oh, can you hear me, Sinai? Can you hear me? Let me sign in here. Okay. I think, can you hear me, guys? If you can hear me, give me the thumbs up. If you can hear me, give me the thumbs up. Okay, I'm not really sure. Can you hear me though? All right, I'm not sure if you can hear. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm not sure if you guys can hear me, but I will be back another day. But I'm not on mute, so you should be able to hear me, right? Yes, yeah, you guys can hear me. You guys can hear me. So Susan Kalechi, I don't know, maybe it's your system, okay? Everybody else, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you guys. So back to your I-751 removal, right? You need to file this 90 days before the removal, right? You need to file this 90 days before the green card expires, because nothing gets you in front of immigration court as quickly as not filing your removal of conditions. USCIS will typically serve you with a notice to appear if your immigration if you have not filed to remove your conditions. Now, I've always told you guys the only person I can take your green card status away from you is a judge, and that's the reason why they will move the case to immigration court so that the judge can determine whether you should keep your green card. Or whether you're able to waive your conditions. Now, there's some people that were not able to waive their conditions for one reason or the other. And I just want to tell you that as soon as you can do it, do it. Do not worry. I had a client whose conditional removal was due in 2013. 2013. And there were reasons. You just have to explain why you didn't waive your conditions. And there were reasons due to the abuse of the spouse that prevented her from removing her conditions. We were able to help her remove the conditions, and she's now a U.S. citizen. So you definitely can, just because you're late does not mean you cannot remove your conditions. But what I'm going to tell you is that once you as soon as you can, or once you're aware of the fact that your conditions should be removed, you need to get doing that quickly so that you don't have a notice to appear served on you. And another thing I want to tell you guys is, if you have a temporary green card, you're supposed to remove the conditions, not file to renew the green card. You can only renew your green card if you have a 10-year green card, okay? Hi, guys. Let me say hello to the people who are watching. Thank you guys for joining. Susan Kalechi, thank you for joining. Portia, thank you. Sinai Mountain Radio, thank you. And then there's Abimbola, Emmanuel. Thank you, guys. So nice to meet you guys. And so if you have any questions, please put the questions. I'm here to answer questions. I get questions, people call in my office with questions. This is your chance, your opportunity to put the questions in the comment section so that I can answer the questions. But if you guys don't have any questions, I will sign out and I will get back to you, come back for another live. But so this is the word on the street. USCIS officers, I think it's part of getting a hold of the backlog. They're really trying to determine these cases without having people come for an interview. So your duty, your burden of proof is to show them that you have the documents they need. You want to make sure you give the right form, the right edition, the right filing fee, the right evidence, okay? And then you want to mail it to the right address. And if you do all this, hopefully you can get your green card without having to show up for an interview. So if you need help, because getting your evidence right is really, really key. If you need help, call my office, 973-993-1900. So nice hanging out with you guys. I have a meeting at 1:30, so I'm going to step out, but I will be back another day, okay? Take care.